Is that for the Cardinals or for Hart?
Okay, be ready to go.
All right, time to go. Board will now come to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Middlebrook.
Present.
Alderman Bosley. Alderwoman Evans.
Present.
Alderman Page.
Present.
Alderwoman Negracia.
Present.
Alderman Coder. Alderwoman Rice.
Present.
Alderman Gunther.
Here.
Alderman Lappy.
Here.
Alderman Stevens. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Present.
Alderwoman Howard.
Here.
Alderwoman Green.
Present.
Alderman Oldenburg.
Present.
Alderwoman Peel. Alderman Todd.
Present.
Alderwoman Davis.
Present.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Present.
Alderwoman Keys.
Here.
Alderwoman Walker.
Present.
Alderman Vaccaro.
Present.
Alderman Narayan.
Here.
Alderman Cone.
Present.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Here.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Present.
Alderman Gross. President Vollmer.
Present.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderman Bosley. Alderman Coder.
Here.
Alderman Stevens. Alderwoman Peel. Alderwoman Keys.
Here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I heard
Okay,
you.
awesome. Thank you.
Alderman Gross.
Here.
24 present, you have quorum.
Thank you so much, Sharita. With an absence of preacher this morning, I will lead us in prayer. Please, Almighty God, source of all authority, we humbly ask guidance in our deliberations and wisdom in our conclusions. Amen. We will dispense with line item 3, introduction of honored guests. Does anyone have any honored guests they would like to introduce? So far, no hands.
I do. I'm sorry.
All right, Alderman from 27. Well, we have to recognize you now. You yelled at me. Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I wanted to recognize all the constituents and residents within the city of St. Louis and for their patience and understanding and waiting on us to try to get this thing right.
All right.
I have my hand up. It just doesn't show.
Yeah.
Okay. Alderman from 23rd, you're recognized.
Yes, my computer kicked me out. I assume this is an announcement of special guests. As always, I'd like to say my good friend Greg Myers, my special guest.
All right, welcome, Greg.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce or honor special guest, the Forestry Department, who did a wonderful job in a very challenging area here in the 21st Ward. And especially, I want to give a shout out to Miss Priest, who is the only female forestry worker in the city of St. Louis's Forestry Division. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
All right. SCL TV, are the hand raising not working today?
I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
Usually it does. I'm not sure if I can change it once a meeting started.
Okay. All right, I see a hand now. It's working for Alderman Gross. Alderman Gross, you're recognized. For 28th, you're recognized.
I was just testing the hand. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. All right, so we have a hand then. So let's raise our hands so I can do this in an orderly fashion. Thank you, folks. All right, any other honored guests? Any other honored guests? All right, seeing none, we'll go to all approval of the minutes. Alderman from the 25th, you're recognized for approval of the minutes. The 25th, well, there you are, sir. Go
Thank you,
ahead.
Mr. President. I move that we approve the minutes from Friday, September 30th, 2022.
Second.
Okay, I had a vast array of seconds there. I believe I caught the Alderman from the 14th. So we have a motion from the Alderman for the 25th, second by the Alderman for the 14th, that we approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, report of city officials.
Report of city officials can be found in A, B, and C agenda and has been placed in the alderman's mailboxes. Dear members of the board, I have the pleasure to submit the following individuals for appointment and reappointment to the Civil Rights Enforcement Commission. The appointment of Mix Maxie Geller, the reappointment of Mr. Adil Mdad. I respectfully request your approval of the appointment. Sincerely, Tashara O. Jones, Mayor.
All right, Alderman from the 8th, you're recognized on the mayor's appointments. Is she with us? If she's not with us, Alderman from the 20th, you're
I'm
recognized.
so
on the
sorry.
mayor's-
I am here.
Okay, there you are. Okay.
Thanks. I'm sorry.
Please proceed.
I would like to make a motion to approve the mayor's appointments to the Civil Rights Enforcement Board.
Second.
Second.
Okay, I didn't catch the first second. Was that the Alderman from
25th.
25th? Okay, thank you, sir. It's been moved by the Alderman from the 8th, second by the Alderman from 25th, that we approve the mayor's appointments to the Civil Rights Enforcement Commission. All in favor?
Aye.
Please say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it.
Dear members of the board, I have the pleasure to submit the following individual for appointment to the Airport Arts Advisory Committee. The appointment of Mr. Martin Keith Stallings, who reside in the 26th Ward. I respectfully request your approval of the appointment. Sincerely, Tashara O. Jones, Mayor.
Thank you, Sharita. Alderman from 26th, you are recognized on the mayor's appointments.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I am honored to make the motion to approve the mayor's appointment to the Airport Arts Advisory Committee.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by the Alderman 26th, seconded by the Alderman 25th, that we approve the appointment to the Airports Arts Advisory Committee. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. We will dispense with line item 7. Would anyone like to take any bills or any resolutions off of our informal calendars? Any bills or resolutions off of the informal calendar? All right, I see no hands. With that, we will go far. First reading of board bills. Take it away, Sharita.
Board Bill 100, sponsored by Alderwoman Boyd, pursuant to ordinance number 70333, as amended by ordinance number 71394, an ordinance directing the Director of Streets to install speed humps to calm the flow of traffic on the 6,000 block of Schulte Avenue between the intersections of Schulte Avenue and Park Lane and Schulte Avenue and Mimica Avenue on a 5,400 block of Genevieve Avenue between the intersection of Genevieve Avenue and Thekla Avenue and Genevieve Avenue and Horny Avenue, and on the 5,600 and 5,700 blocks of Pamplin Avenue between the intersections of Pamplin Avenue and the east-west alleyway that is north of 6,000 block of Pamplin Avenue and Pamplin Avenue and West Florissant, and on the 5,900 block of Horny Avenue between the intersections of Horny Avenue and Park Lane and Horny Avenue and Mimica Avenue, and on a 5,500 block and 5,600 block of Mimica Avenue between the intersections of Mimica Avenue, Horny Avenue, and Mimica Avenue and Lenora Avenue. That's the extent of first reading of board bills.
Maybe not. Alderman for the 19th, you have something for us?
I do. Mr. President, members of the board, I'd like to introduce from the floor, Board Bill 101. I'd like to move for that,
We have to suspend the rules.
suspend the rules, sir.
All right, so you're requesting we suspend the rules, introduce Board Bill 101. Is it in the drive and everyone has Board Bill 101? All right. So please make a motion to suspend the rules.
I move to suspend the rules for introduction of Board Bill 101.
Second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by the Alderman from the 19th, second by the Alderman from the 14th to suspend the rules. Sharita, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Middlebrook. Alderman Bosley, Alderwoman Evans,
Aye.
Alderman Page,
Aye.
Alderwoman Gracia,
Aye.
Alderman Coder,
Aye.
Alderwoman Rice, Alderman Gunther,
Aye.
Alderman Lappy,
Aye.
Alderman Stevens, Alderwoman Switzer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Howard,
Aye.
Alderwoman Green,
Aye.
Alderman Oldenburg,
Aye.
Alderwoman Peel, Alderman Todd,
Aye.
Alderwoman Davis,
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys,
Aye.
Alderwoman Walker,
Aye.
Alderman Vaccaro,
Aye.
Alderman Orion,
Aye.
Alderman Cone, Alderwoman Clark Hubbard,
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd,
Aye.
Alderman Gross,
Aye.
President Vollmer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus, Alderwoman Middlebrook, Alderman Bosley, Alderman Stevens, Alderwoman Peel, Alderman Cone.
Aye.
Bosley's an aye. I'm sorry, my Bluetooth was on.
Yes, this is Alderman Peel. I was an aye.
24 aye votes.
All right, thank you, Sarita. By your vote, we have adopted the motion by Alderman from the 19th to suspend the rules. So Alderman, please proceed with Board Bill 101. We need to make a motion, I believe, to adopt Board Bill 101, put on the first reading.
President Vollmer, we already made the motion.
Oh, good motion. Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and we suspend the rules. So at that point, I believe you have to read Board Bill 101.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Board Bill 101, introduced by Alderwoman Davis, an ordinance recommended by the Board of Estimate and Apportionment, authorizing the mayor and the comptroller to enter into and execute agreements with HUD for the receipt of 2023 Community Development Block Grant, Home Investment Partnership, Emergency Solution Grant, and Housing Opportunities for Person with AIDS funds, authorizing the directors of the Community Development Administration, Department of Human Services, and Department of Health to execute contracts as may be necessary to expend funds and contain an emergency clause. That's the extent of first reading of board bills.
All right, please assign that to HUDs, 101 to HUDs.
So noted.
All right, reference to committee.
To the Streets Committee, Board Bill 100, to the HUD's Committee, Board Bill 101.
Thank you so much. Second reading and report of standing committees.
The following board bills were reported out of Health and Human Services with a due pass recommendation. Board Bill 71, sponsored by Alderwoman Gracia, an ordinance recommended by the Board of Estimate and Apportionment, authorizing the City of St. Louis Department of Health to accept the grant from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration containing an emergency clause. Board Bill 72, sponsored by Alderwoman Gracia, an ordinance recommended by the Board of Estimate and Apportionment, authorizing the City of St. Louis Department of Health to enter into a memo of agreement with the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services for $10,000 through September 29, 2022 to work with the for the bill in completing an active transportation plan in the Beale and Greater Beale neighborhoods, authorizing the expenditure of grant funds by entering into contracts or otherwise for grant purposes and contain an emergency clause. That's the extent of second reading, report of standing committees.
Thank you. We will dispense with line item 14 and move on to perfection consent.
We have none.
All right, board bills for perfection.
Board Bill 89, sponsored by Alderwoman Davis, an ordinance recommended by the Board of Estimate and Apportionment, authorizing and directing the issuance and delivery of not to exceed $4,691,000 plus issuance costs, principal amount of tax increment and special district revenue notes of the City of St. Louis containing a severability clause.
All right, Alderman from the 19th, you're recognized on perfection of Board Bill 89.
Mr. President, members of the board, I move for perfection of Board Bill 89.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from the Alderman from the 19th, second by the Alderman from the 27th. Alderwoman, please proceed.
Thank you very much. This board bill is very direct. We've had good discussion on it. It is a project that has been in the works for about 2 years, and it is going to bring great revenue return and also more residents for that immediate area, as well as improving our tax base for the future. So I ask that we consider moving this bill forward, and I shall answer any questions if necessary.
All right, with the motion and the second, any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing no hands raised. Oh, I see. Alderman from the 13th, you are recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, members of the board. I have been paying attention to this and trying to make sure I understand it. And I would like to ask if the Alderman from the 17th would give some background, please, if she would yield for questions.
Alderman from the 17th, will you yield to questions from the Alderman from the 13th?
I will yield to questions.
Thank you so much.
Proceed.
I mostly just raised my hand because I wanted to make sure you got a chance to talk and we were going to move on. So my question is, what are your thoughts on this bill? And, what do you hope to see happen here?
Thank you, Alderman from the 13th. I would like to say that in Board Bill 89 and Board Bill 90, this is a project, the Armory. This board bill is, the project is located completely in the 17th ward. And I have been working with SLDC and Green Street regarding putting public benefits and community benefits into the agreement. And unbeknownst to me, SLDC went and asked Alderwoman Davis to sponsor this bill. Currently, the public benefits agreement of $470,000 that we were negotiating to go to the SLPS schools or the Affordable Housing Trust Fund is not in the board bills. And also, what is not in the board bills is a community mitigation impact agreement or good neighborhood agreement with Forest Park Southeast neighborhood, which is in the 17th ward. So I wanted to say, I cannot support this board bill or Board Bill 89 as written because SLDC and Green Street and Alderwoman Davis are putting forward a board bill in which public benefits and community benefits agreement are not in it. And if we don't put and hold people accountable, we need to put something in writing and hold SLDC and the developer accountable. I mean, no bank will be giving a customer $10,000, a $10,000 loan, and work out no written agreement after the customer receives the funds. And that's what we're doing with these board bills. We are giving a check to Green Street if this is approved without finalizing the developer agreement in terms of the public benefit and community benefit. And Green Street and SLDC were working on this, and I was waiting for them to get back to me regarding the $470,000. And unbeknownst to me, this was put up in for introduction a few weeks ago, and nobody talked to me about it. And this just shouldn't be happening. I mean, what's happening is that alders are getting picked off. I am asking questions. I've been asking questions of developers and SLDC. And when we ask questions, if something is not acceptable, this is an action in which people are not, SLDC and Green Street are not wanting to be held accountable. This can happen to anybody now. This is a free-for-all. If you ask questions, you're looking to give something to the community. Why wouldn't this not happen to you? And so what I would like, I support this board bill, not as it's written. I'd like it to go back to the informal calendar and have these agreements written out in detail in this board bill or another board bill. If we want to do it, we can do it. It's just a will. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering that question. I think what I'm hearing you say is that there are benefits to the community and to your neighborhood that are being left on the table currently that could be in this board bill, and you're asking them for them to be in this board bill.
I'm looking for them to either be in this board bill or another board bill that's attached to these board bills before we approve about $4.7 million of a TIF to Green Street. Because again, we need to memorialize this, and no bank would allow a loan without having it in writing. And this is just unconscionable that it was removed from the board bills, because that's what I was working on with SLDC and Green Street.
Okay, I appreciate that. I might have more questions later, but I see some of my colleagues have their hands up, so I yield my time. Thank you so much.
All right, thank both of you. Alderman from the 24th, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the Alderwoman from the 17th yield for questions?
Alderman from the 17th, will you yield the questions to the Alderman from the 24th?
I will.
Please proceed.
Thank you. So in the committee hearing that we had on this, counsel for SLDC stated that the way that you were trying to put the community benefit agreement into the bill went against Missouri statute. I'm certainly not an expert on that. Do you have any competing legal opinions on that?
Regarding that, so we did something similar with the city foundry and the $1.8 million, and that's similar to the $470,000. And so we wrote into it for the city foundry to be able to do that. And the city foundry was also a TIF. We were able to attach an agreement to the board bill that would make it acceptable for the city to receive the funds. So this can happen, it has happened, and the example is the city foundry. So this is no different in terms of the TIF bills.
Sure, but did you get either counsel for the board or the city councilor to weigh in on this particular proposal? I just have some concerns there, since counsel for SLDC said specifically the allocation to SLPS was not above board in regard to Missouri statute.
Well, how it's written, how it's written in the board bill at this point in time, or how the board bill is written, it is not able to be put into the board bills. So
sure,
it's something that can be done. And the SLDC lawyers worked on this again with the city foundry, and SLDC was working on having this completed before the board bills that I was going to sponsor to be able to sponsor and introduce this. And so they had not come back to me regarding that it couldn't be done, but this conversation should have been held with me before it was introduced by another alderperson.
And do you have any like floor substitutes or anything like that that could address some of your concerns?
What I would like to happen is that this would be put on the formal calendar so that we could work out these details for this agreement and hold SLDC, Green Street, and ourselves accountable. I do not have anything at this time because these details need to be worked out, and that's what was going on with SLDC, Green Street, and myself. And nobody communicated to me, as I said, regarding that this could not happen.
Okay. And will the Alderman from the 19th please yield for a question?
Alderman from the 19th, will you yield to questions from the Alderman from the 24th?
Absolutely.
Please proceed.
Thank you. So we just heard from the Alderwoman from the 17th about a potential floor sub or something like that to address some of the concerns. Is this a time-sensitive bill at this point?
It's extremely time sensitive. And Alderman, if you don't mind, I'll bring some clarity to the question that you asked, as well as the alderperson from the 13th Ward.
Please, please.
So let's first start with giving information about this board bill being introduced by myself. I spoke with the alderwoman from the 17th to let her know that I had been asked and that I had agreed based on the situation that they were in with this bill, and also the complete understanding that there had been no communication from the alderperson for over 2 months. And even in that conversation, the alderperson explained to me that she wanted to work on redoing the performer for the project. There is no such animal that can take place for legislators in dealing with these projects. That is not our role to do. That is SLDC, who does all the due diligence on bills. They have done all and requested the bill to be presented as it was. To clarify about this incentive for the St. Louis Public Schools, it was clearly explained more than once. Number one, SLPS is its own special taxing district. We have no rights to go out and negotiate on their behalf. That is why it's illegal for us to put that in a board bill. And the difference between this board bill and the board bill with the Foundry, there was no other taxing district but us. So we had the right to put that in a bill. And these details are very critical. And that is why we have another arm of our government who does the vetting of these projects. All of those people are extremely professional and experienced with the talent that is required. It was explained to me by the alderperson of the 17th Ward that, it's really important for her as an urban planner to redo these bills and for them to follow what she wants. Well, that's not our role as legislators. These bills are not about an urban plan where you go out and plan with a community and you come up with an idea. These are economic, monetary projects that have people who are signing off on banknotes and other things in order to make this happen. And it is not our role as individual alderpersons to get involved in that part of the process. If we ever want to talk about something illegal, that's illegal. Now, to give you one more thing, St. Louis Public Schools has made it very clear to all of us, as was indicated by Mr. Richardson and his staff, they are negotiating with Green Street and they're very pleased with where they are. So that is the appropriate ones. When you talk about a neighborhood association, that neighborhood association can sit down and come up with any agreement they want to, and it does not have to be in a board bill. We have neighborhoods all over the city who have agreements with businesses and or developers that are independent, and they take care of that for themselves. It is not our responsibility to monitor it or anything. So those things are not a reason why we would hold this bill up. And I would hope that we understand those things, because I do know we spent a lot of time on trying to make sure that we heard from the attorneys, we heard from the professionals who have vetted this bill, and it is in its correct order. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for shedding light on that for me. I have nothing further, President Vollmer.
All right, thank you very much, Alderman from 24th. Alderman from the 18th, you have your hand up, you're recognized.
President, may I ask the 17th Ward Alderwoman a question?
Alderman from the 17th, will you yield to questions from the Alderman from the 18th?
I'll yield for questions.
Please proceed, sir.
Madam Alderwoman from the 17th, were you willing to work with SLDC to sponsor this bill?
Yes, we were in the proceedings. I was supporting this bill with, the public benefits and the community benefits that I've been talking to that were removed from the bill. We were on the track, SLDC and I, regarding putting that, figuring out how to put that into the board bill. So yes, like I said, I support this board bill with those two benefits in the board bill or a subsequent board bill so that we can hold SLDC and Green Street accountable.
Was there any reason why you couldn't sponsor the bill since it's in your ward?
Well, I was slated to sponsor the bill, and I had left we had left the conversation with SLDC to be working out with the SLPS regarding the public benefit. And I actually called the mayor's office, I think it was September 16th, regarding the developments in 17th Ward and what the updates were. So I actually did reach out to the administration regarding the developments in the 17th Ward, and I believe it was September 16th. So I wanted to get abreast on what is happening. And then unbeknownst to me, again, these board bills were put onto the calendar for introduction. I will also like to say that for Board Bill 89 and 90, I had not spoken with Alderwoman Davis regarding that. She had not spoken with me about that until after I saw these board bills on the agenda for the full board meeting. I also would like to say I have not, in terms of these board bills and what is happening. Yes, I am an urban planner, and as a legislator, we should use all our experiences to be able to legislate the best and make the proper decision. And I feel that there are other people who have expertise in different areas, and they're going to be using their experience, I hope, to make a better decision in terms of legislation.
I think for another alderperson to sponsor a bill in another alderperson's ward, I think we're setting a very dangerous precedent, because each one of us was elected to represent our ward, and if our ward doesn't agree with what we do, they have several options. They can recall us immediately, or they can vote us out at the end of our term. I think this takes away, this can be used, and I'm not saying this is the case in this situation, because I don't know. But this can be used for the SLDC to have power, which is not, that they are not elected to have. They are not accountable to the public. We are the only ones that no city staff people are accountable who are being paid by the taxpayers. We're the only one that the taxpayers can hold us accountable. It doesn't matter whether it's public safety, health, water, any other department. We're the only one that can be recalled immediately and be voted out of office. I think this sets a precedent that should not be allowed to happen now and in the future when these wards are cut. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Madam Alderwoman.
All right, thank you, sir. Alderman from 19th, you have your hand up, you're recognized.
Mr. President, there are two things that I wanted to clarify very quickly. Not only did I speak with the alderperson from the 17th Ward to let it be known that I was asked, but we had also talked about this process and these board bills because the alderperson brought it to the attention of the Black Caucus. And we talked about it at length and discussed all of these issues so that it was understood that there's some things you can do and some things you can't. And one of the major ones was dealing with the St. Louis Public Schools and knowing that they are a special school district You cannot go out and negotiate for them. That is, and it cannot go in a board bill. And again, it was reiterated in committee meeting by the attorney from SLDC, by the director, rather now called President Neil Richardson, at length. And we went over it a number of times. So I'm not sure what else we can do. And no alderperson can go into a development process, especially when the developers have done everything and bent over backwards and given every document they can give, and then you don't get back to them. Even if you do have experience, you don't have enough experience to come in cold on a project and think you can redo it and restructure a development project. That's just not what we do. We ask questions. We work with the arm of the executive branch that is responsible for vetting these bills and giving the best information to the mayor's office and to us on how to move forward. So I'm hoping that we do respect that. And this is one of probably 4 times or 5 times that I'm aware of that we've had to move some bills forward, but it's about the economics of the city of St. Louis, and also for those who are willing to do developments here. And after about 18 months of being ready to go, that's a little bit much. So I just wanted to give more clarity, because there's been a lot of conversation back and forth. And it is not like someone just decided, I don't want you to have anything to do with this, but it's ready to go. And as all of us know, with interest rates and the cost of materials and a number of other things, it makes it hard to just even do a development now and come in under cost or at cost. That's almost impossible. So we should be grateful, number one, that we have a staff that vets these projects extremely well and brings us the best product possible. But I just had to please give that clarity. And I don't know how many ways and how many times we can say it is illegal to put declarations of benefit for a special taxing district. You do not have the legal right to do that.
All right. Anything further?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Alderwoman. Alderman from the 17th, you're recognized. Alderman from the 17th?
Thank you, Mr. President. And I would like to clarify that when we were speaking about the developments regarding the 17th Ward in the Black Caucus, I was still the one sponsoring this bill, or at least I believed I was. And so there was no mention regarding any communication for Board Bill 89 and Board 90 in the last few weeks or whenever SLDC asked you to sponsor it. There was no communication. And this has happened more than once with Green Street and getting things pushed through without any communication with SLDC when I thought we were working together to get something complete. Also, I was not the one negotiating the $470,000. It was SLDC working with SLPS to do this. And it was not myself doing it. And we had left it at the conversation with Neil Richardson that he was going to be working with SLPS. So I would like to have that in clarity too. And as an urban planner for the past 20 years, I have experience regarding how to look at these things and have brought things to St. Louis, like the equitable development contribution to St. Louis through my experience and knowledge of how we can better cities and increase affordable housing or workforce development that never was here in St. Louis. And so if we could have done it again, these are tips. This is a tip for the Armory. We can create the board bills necessary to hold SLDC and the developer accountable. What I am interested is holding us accountable. And as I said, I supported the bills and we had provisions to hold the developer accountable in terms of community benefits and public benefits. So I am not arguing anything about not getting the TIF to Green Street. It's putting the benefits into the bills, or if there needs to be a subsequent bill like the City Foundry, that can happen. And SLDC was able to work it out with the lawyers. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alderwoman. Alderwoman from the 15th, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I think the first thing I'd just like to say is $470,000 going to the school district is a pretty substantial amount of money. And I think, you know, I really do think it's in the best interest of the school district and kids in our city for us to get some clarity around this. My understanding would be that even if you could not delineate funds to another taxing district, SLPS does have the SLPS Foundation, which is not a taxing district. And that foundation could be in receipt of funds in the same way that we set up contracts or we serve as a pass-through as a city of funds to other nonprofit organizations. And so I do think that there is a way for the school district to receive funding from this. And I'm hesitant, I've seen how this board works over time. And if we pass this without having, benefits attached to it or a subsequent bill that specifically states how SLPS will receive that $470,000, I am concerned that they will never receive that money. And so I think my preference on this would be for us to hold. Let's get some clarity from the school district, from both the Board of Education, the union, and SLPS Foundation on what this could look like to ensure that they can receive funding. We all passed a resolution at this board maybe about a year ago that committed to reforming the way that we do TIFs and tax abatements to take into consideration the impact that they have on the school district. And that resolution was passed unanimously by this body. So I would hope that we would be able to pause, not for a long time, maybe a week or two, while we can get these parties around the table and figure out the legal mechanism for which to ensure that the school district is made whole and receives some sort of funding as a result of this development. Thanks.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman from the 8th, you have not spoken yet, so I'll recognize you. Please proceed.
Mr. President. Would the Alderwoman from the 19th yield for questions?
Alderman from the 19th, we will yield the questions to the Alderman from the 8th.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Please proceed.
Thank you so much, Alderwoman. I am curious, when this project was initially came before the Board of Aldermen back in 2017, what were the intended uses of the buildings?
Well, and everybody was very progressive in doing additional hotels and offices, but since the pandemic, a number of developers have redone their plan, still committed to providing economic growth for the city of St. Louis. And now it is going to be residential along with entertainment.
Okay, so is there, I guess my sort of overarching question with this project is, because this scope has changed so much and the potential, the output on the financials, right? Like with offices are very different from residential units, and the economic output that those bring into our community. I'm wondering, it seems to me that the precedent for a project like this would be to go back to LCRA for a reevaluation. Is there a reason that this project did not follow that?
St. Louis Development Corporation has a process that they use. They have done all the necessary vetting of the restructuring of the plan, or they never would have brought it this far. They also definitely have taken this before the mayor. They have also definitely put them in touch with the St. Louis Public School District. They are already at the table with Green Street. Again, they know how to negotiate for themselves. They have been doing this for years. As a former president of the school board, care about it deeply I take my last breath. They are negotiating on behalf of the school district. They don't need us to do that for them. And the law doesn't allow us to. Plus, I served on that TIF commission for years. I understand the process. I understand what SLDC is doing. I'm not talking about the development needing anything else because they had presented it to committee. They were extremely thorough. Everything is in place. All those parties who need to interact with each other are doing that in their respective legal space. And so there's no reason to take this back to anything for any reason at this point.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't trying to question your credentials and your previous history. Just the project itself just seems very, very different from what was initially approved back in 2017. And a lot of us weren't there in 2017. So so attaching.
And that's why we have the St. Louis Development Corporation, who has no political influence over what we do. They are just simply technicians who take care, and they represent the executive branch, and they have to answer to the mayor's office. I am not going to question where they are now, most especially after we spend so much time in committee on this, a lot of time. And I can appreciate the fact that it is prepared and ready to go.
Okay, thank you, Alderwoman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anything further, Alderwoman from the 8th?
Not at this time, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Seeing no other hands raised, Alderman from the 19th, you're recognized to close.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, members of the board. You have a process before you that may have a little difference to it because it is being presented and not by the alderwoman of that ward. I was hoping that after the committee process and everything was thoroughly vetted to the committee and the understandings of where they were and the clarity and legality of what could and could not be done, that the alderperson would become the sponsor and or co-sponsor, but that didn't take place. What we need to do is to make sure that we can get this project moving, get people in those construction jobs, and get to that point where we have new residents moving in, entertainment going on, more money going into the sales tax base. Those are the critical things that we need to be considering today. And I ask for favorable recognition for this bill and having the support to move it forward.
All right, thank you very much. Discussion is closed. It's been moved and seconded. We perfect Board Bill 89. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Roll call. Roll call. Roll call.
Well, we have a request for a roll call. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Middlebrook.
Aye.
Alderman Bosley. Alderwoman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Page.
Sorry, Bosley's an aye.
I'm sorry, Alderman Bosley, you said an aye. I'm sorry, did Alderman Bosley say I don't want to miss anything?
He said
I
aye.
did say I'm an aye. I'm sorry. We can chase my dogs out here.
That's fine. Alderman Page.
Aye.
Point of order.
State your point of order.
All votes need to be on video.
Please turn your cameras on.
Aye, I did come. Get back.
Please proceed, clerk, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Alderwoman Negracia.
Aye.
Alderman Coder.
Aye.
Alderwoman Rice.
No.
Alderman Gunther.
Aye.
Alderman Lappy.
Aye.
Alderman Stevens.
Pass.
Alderwoman Switzer.
No.
Alderwoman Howard.
Aye.
Alderwoman Green.
Present.
Alderman Odenberg.
Aye.
Alderwoman Peel.
No. I would like to just say if it was able to be put on.
Point of
order. Point of order.
There is no discussion, no discussions, only aye or nay for present or pass. Discussion is closed.
Alderman Todd.
No.
Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Alderwoman Walker.
Pass.
Alderman Vaccaro.
Aye.
Alderman Narayan.
Aye.
Alderman Cone. Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Aye.
Alderman Gross.
Aye.
President Balmer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderman Stevens.
Present.
Alderwoman Walker.
Present.
Alderman Cone.
Present.
19 aye votes, 4 no votes, and 4 voted present.
Thank you very much, Rita. All right, by your vote, we have perfected Board Bill 89.
Thank you.
Board Bill 90, sponsored by Alderwoman Davis, an ordinance approving a first amendment to a redevelopment agreement and CID intergovernmental cooperation agreement in connection with redevelopment project area 1 of the Armory District redevelopment area and containing a severability clause.
Alderman from the 19th, you are recognized on perfection of Board Bill number 90.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I will just move that we adopt Board Bill 90. It has been discussed somewhat along with Board Bill 89, and this is just a part of the financing.
Yeah. Entertain a second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from the Alderman from the 19th, a second by the Alderman from the 16th, I believe. Alderman, please proceed.
Mr. President, members of the board, I would just like to renew my motion, please.
All right, we have a hand raised. Alderman from the 8th, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I just want to flag on here. It was mentioned in committee that this is another sort of developer-owned SID, and that we be careful as we go forward on these types of things. I know that this is just a reauthorization, so there's not. This may not be the right time to change the way we're doing business, but we've been flagged by the state auditor on how we do these special taxing districts. And I have a single site SID in the 8th ward as well that is only run by the owners of the project. And there are ways that we can be more transparent with our tax dollars and our tax procedures as these come through. So I would just encourage that, particularly going forward, any organization that has one of these special taxing districts, please be as transparent as possible. Please bring those reports to the to the Board of Aldermen as you're supposed to, your budgets, your reports, all of that, and that these be public meetings that folks can participate in, because it's really important as we're, as they're dealing with the gathering and dispensing of tax dollars, that this be as transparent as possible. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alderwoman. Alderwoman from the 17th, you're recognized. Alderwoman from the 17th, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the board. I wanted to just make note that as these board bills are going through to get either approved or not approved, that unfortunately, when another alderperson takes a board bill out of your ward, I am not able to advocate as strongly for my constituents. And if this happens over and over in terms of having a free-for-all and board bills are sponsored by other people from other wards, you will not have the strength to advocate for your residents. And this is setting a precedent.
All right, thank you very much. Seeing no other hands raised, Alderman from the 19th, Alderman from the 12th, you're recognized.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So sorry there. I kind of snuck in at the last second. I just wanted to state that I cannot support this bill if only as a conflict of interest, because I'm currently working with the City Councilor's office and some other legal counsel outside of City Hall in investigating our local taxing districts and how the state auditor's report from 2019 can be used to guide better practices. So I feel uncomfortable voting on this while I'm also not conducting, it's a bit formal, isn't it? But rather looking into the legal questions and various other questions posed by the state auditor in the same area. So on this vote, I will be abstaining. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Seeing no other hands raised, Alderman from the 19th, you're recognized to close.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I too have looked at special taxing districts, and I am very, very appreciative of the Comptroller's office. And as we know, those annual reports go to the Comptroller's office, and they are a part of their compliance that they do, and then they send us the report to the Board of Aldermen. We did change it a little bit, and it will be changed more. The Comptroller also recognized that she needed more staff because so many projects are coming through that will require compliance from her office. And so I do know that on the executive side, with SLDC, the Comptroller's office, and they are all looking at these things and putting new practices in place. And so they're working on that. And I'm sure that the various commissions and boards that interface with all of this will be included in that process. So I just wanted the public to know that this is not something that no one is looking at and or has not considered already long before the incident with the building downtown. And as you know, there are no residents yet in this project. This particular developer has been operating in the 17th Ward. And for a number of years, I've been a part of discussions with this project from the beginning, 2 years ago. There's a lot of good things that they have instituted on their own that we didn't even think about. And so I do know that they will do the right thing. And again, as I said, we have all the right entities looking at the structure, and I believe compliance will be handled properly. I'd like to renew my motion. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alderwoman. It's been moved and seconded that we perfect Board Bill number 90.
Roll call.
We have a request for a roll call. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Middlebrook.
Aye.
Alderman Bosley.
Aye.
Alderwoman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Page.
Aye.
Alderwoman Negracia.
Aye.
Alderman Coder.
Aye.
Alderwoman Rice.
Pass.
Alderman Gunther.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Alderman, you cut out.
Aye.
Thank you. Alderman Lappy.
Aye.
Alderman Stevens.
Abstain.
Alderwoman Schweitzer.
No.
Alderwoman Howard.
Aye.
Alderwoman Green.
Present.
Alderman Oldenburg.
Aye.
Alderwoman Peel.
No.
Alderman Todd.
No.
Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Alderwoman Walker.
Present.
Alderman Vaccaro.
Aye.
Alderman Narayan.
Aye.
Alderman Cone.
Present.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Aye.
Alderman Gross.
Aye.
President Balmer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Rice.
Present.
"19 aye votes, 3 no votes, 1 abstain, and 4 voted present.
Thank you very much, Sharita. By your vote, you have perfected Board Bill number 90, third reading consent.
Board Bills 54 as amended, 60, 66 as amended, 74, 75 as amended, 78, 81 as amended, 84 and 85.
All right. Thank you very much, Sharita.
Mr. President,
Please proceed.
I'd like to move Board Bill 74 to the perfection informal calendar, please.
All right, Sharita, please make note of that.
So noted.
All right, thank you very much. Alderman from the 25th, you're recognized on the motion for the third reading consent calendar.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we adopt the third reading consent calendar.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from the Alderman by 25th. I believe a second from the Alderman from the 9th.
27.
27th, I apologize.
I don't
All right.
have the deep voice, Mr. President.
No worries, no worries. Any discussion? Hearing none. Sharita, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Middlebrook.
Aye.
Alderman Bosley.
Aye.
Alderwoman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Page.
Aye.
Alderwoman Negracia.
Aye.
Alderman Coder.
Aye.
Alderwoman Rice.
Aye.
Alderman Gunther.
Aye.
Alderman Lappy.
Aye.
Alderman Stevens.
Aye.
Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Howard.
Aye.
Alderwoman Green.
Aye.
Oldenburg.
Aye.
Alderwoman Peel.
Aye.
Alderman Todd.
Aye.
Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Keys.
Aye.
Alderwoman Walker. Alderman Vaccaro.
Aye.
Alderman Narayan.
Aye.
Alderman Cone,
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, Alderwoman Boyd, Alderman Gross,
Aye.
President Vollmer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus, Alderwoman Walker, Alderwoman Boyd. 26 aye votes.
All right, thank you, Sharita. By your vote to sustain the motion of the Alderman from the 25th, third read and finally pass the aforementioned board bills. Third reading, report of engrossment, and final passage.
Board Bill 54 as amended, 60, 66 as amended, 75 as amended, 78, 81 as amended, 84, and 85.
All right, all other business being suspended, the president will in open session affix their signature here too, to the end that these may become law. Got 8 signatures, so take a pause and refresh. All right. Okay, Alderman from the 25th, you're recognized on our courtesy resolutions calendar.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we adopt the courtesy resolutions calendar.
Second.
Second. All right, it's been moved by Alderman from the 25th, seconded by the Alderman from the 24th, that we approve our courtesy resolutions calendar. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First reading of resolutions.
Resolution 116, sponsored by Alderwoman Green and the following alderpersons: Narayan, Todd, Ingracia, Walker, Gunther, Rice, Vaccaro, Cone, Keys, Coder, Peel, Stevens, Clark Hubbard, Schweitzer, and Middlebrook. Spire, Missouri rate increase.
Alderman from the 15th, you are recognized on first reading of resolution 116.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I'd like to request unanimous consent.
Second.
Well, there's no second required, but hearing no objection, unanimous consent. Please proceed, Alderwoman.
Thank you. This resolution is pretty simple. As many of you have probably heard, Spire is asking the Missouri Public Service Commission for a gas delivery rate increase again.
Okay, Alderwoman, please, yep, you're going to have to make a, we suspended the rules, but you have to make a motion for adoption of the resolution. Now we require that.
Sorry, I'm speeding ahead here today, trying to get us done. I'd like to move for the adoption of resolution. What is the number again? Sorry.
16.
116.
116.
Second.
Okay. All right. The second was Alderman from the 8th. So it was a move by Alderman from the 15th, second by Alderman from the 8th, that we proceed with board resolution 116. Alderman from the 15th, please proceed.
Thank you again, Mr. President, members of the board. As I was saying, Spire is asking the Missouri Public Service Commission for a gas delivery rate increase, which will generate around $152 million annually. And if granted, the average residential customer in our area will see an increase of about $9.42 per month. That is about a little over 11% increase. And I think what's really important to mention about this is the rate comes on the heels of a rate increase that was already granted in December of 2021, which increased rates by $1.52 per month. In Missouri East and in the western part of the state increased it by $8.12 per month. And at that same time, Spire was granted the ability to earn a 9.37 corporate interest or corporate profit on top of that tax that was issued. We know a lot of our constituents are being are really feeling the pinch in the pocketbook right now with escalating costs around food, groceries, gas, everything in between. And so I think that this is not the time for us to be raising rates again on customers that are already struggling, especially at a time when Spire is making some pretty significant corporate profits off of the increase that they were just granted just about a year ago. So the Missouri Public Service Commission is going to be in the St. Louis region on Wednesday, October 12th at 6 p.m. at the St. Louis Community College Florissant Valley Student Center. And they will be taking public testimony there. And I think that it's important for them to receive this resolution in advance of those public hearings, to hear what our voice is on this matter, and our concerns about how this could impact our constituents who are already struggling.
All right. Thank you, Alderwoman. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing no hands raised, you're recognized to close.
Oh, I think the Alderwoman from the 4th has her hand raised.
Yes, my computer's doing crazy things here.
Okay.
I would like to have my name added to that as well.
All right. Madam Clerk, please take note of that.
So noted.
Thank you,
All right.
Alderwoman.
Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Alderman from the 15th.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I didn't get a chance to raise my hand.
All right. Alderman 27, you're recognized.
Alderman from the 15th, could I ask a question, please?
Alderman from the 15th, will you yield to questions from the Alderman from the 27th?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Did you, and I didn't want to misspeak, did you not ask for unanimous consent?
She did, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. And so, has anybody asked to embank it?
Not yet.
Okay, and so could I ask for it to be embanked?
I would love you to do that.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask.
There's a motion before us to embank resolution 116.
Second.
Second.
Okay, I didn't catch a second.
Second by the 4th.
Okay. Moved by Alderman 27, second by Alderman 4th to embank resolution 116. Sharita, please make note of that. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Sharita, please make note of that to embank resolution 116.
So
Okay.
noted.
Thank you very much. Second reading of resolutions.
We have none.
All right. Miscellaneous unfinished business.
We have none.
Announcements.
Wednesday, October 12th, Streets Committee will have a meeting at 10 a.m. via webinar. Public Safety will have a meeting at 1 p.m. via webinar. Thursday, October 13th, HUD will have a meeting at 9 a.m. via webinar. Ways and Means will have a meeting at 1 p.m. via webinar. Friday, October 14th, 2022, Full Board meeting, 10 a.m. via webinar. That's the extent of the announcements.
All right. I see a hand up, Alderman from the 8th. You're recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, members of the board. It is a big weekend down in the 8th ward. Fall is here, along with Cardinals baseball. There's 3 days of the Missouri's, the Best of Missouri market at the Missouri Botanical Gardens. So that's open, lots of vendors there. There are 2 days of the Shaw Art Fair on Flora Place in the Shaw neighborhood. So Saturday and Sunday. This is an incredible event. We're really glad to be back out at full force. And then on Sunday, Sauce Magazine's Harvest Festival is also taking place in Tower Grove Park. So lots of things going on down in the 8th ward. Would love to see you there. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Alderwoman. Any other hands? Any other hands? Alderman from the 24th, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just wanted to point out, in addition to some wild card baseball this weekend, St. Louis SC2 is playing for the championship game on Saturday at 12:30. I know that there'll be a watch party here in the 24th Ward at the Pat Connolly Tavern starting at 11:30. So if anyone wants to watch the local soccer team play for some hardware, come on out, and it'll be a fun time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alderman from the 7th, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. Of course, our Cardinals are playing this weekend in downtown St. Louis. Other big event down in Soulard, we're going to kick off our annual Oktoberfest celebration tonight at 6:45 p.m. They will tap the first keg and start the party. Hope you all can make it. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Alderman. Alderman from 17th, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the board. I just wanted to announce that we are going to be having Oktoberfest also in Forest Park Southeast. It starts today at noon, and also on Saturday, it starts at noon till 11. So hope to see you there.
All right, thank you very much. Any other hands? Any other hands? Okay.
Mr. President,
I
apologize. I don't have a hand to raise.
Well, we'll see if we can take a donation and buy you some hands then.
First, I wanted to ask if we voted on the resolution. And then
No, we're coming back to that because of the embank and the confusion. Yes, that's on my list to do.
Okay,
So
all
thank
right.
you.
And then I just wanted to mention, as the Alderman from the 24th did, the STL City 2 team is vying for the championship of the Next Score Pro League, which is their development league. And the St. Louligans and I will be in the 6th Ward at Schlafly Tap Room celebrating and watching the game tomorrow. And then Fox Park has their annual fall festival from 4 until 8 p.m. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you for that. We had so much going on before. We will digress and go back to Sharita. We need to take a vote on Resolution 116. We voted on the embankment, but not actually the passage. So Sharita?
Yes, sir. We can do a voice vote if
Correct. All right. All those in favor of passing board Resolution 116, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed? As again, all ayes, no noes, and ugly Mr. Potato. Thank you. All right. We will, and one more announcement. If you're roaming around the streets on this Sunday, it is the Italian Heritage Festival on the Hill. We have a parade starting at Shaw School at 9, ending up at 12:30, ending up at Barra Park with a festa. Food and drink will be there. So if you're roaming around, it's supposed to be a beautiful day. Stop by the Hill. Thank you very much. At that point, we will recognize the Alderman from 25th on a motion to excuse.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we excuse the Alderwoman from the 1st Ward for necessary absence, but I encourage everyone to vote no because I think that she would appreciate that.
Okay, we will entertain a second.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by the Alderman from 25th, seconded by the Alderman from the 4th, that we excuse the Alderman from the 1st for necessary absence. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
Wow. I had some static there. The ayes have it. All right. Alderman 25th, you're recognized on our favorite motion of the day to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we adjourn until Friday, October 14th, 2022 at 10 a.m. via webinar.
Second.
All right. It's been moved by Alderman 25th, second by the Alderman from the 4th, that we adjourn to next Friday. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it once again. I thank you all for your time and effort today, and we will adjourn because the goose says so. Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Be safe out there.
Have a great weekend.
First pitch 107, first beer 107.